Welcome to SAP SD online training. Before we start the training, let us introduce myself. My name is Gurjeet Singh and I am based in Australia. You can contact me via email or you can also visit the website www.steadiness.org. My background is basically mechanical engineering, and I started my SAP career with a SD course many years before. And I'm working in SAP since year 2007. My SAP skills are SD, MM, PP, CRM, and I also know basic ABAP. And I'm providing training in these modules SD, MM, CRM, and PP since 2012. Now, before we start the SD training, let us know that who can learn SAP SD. Anybody can learn SAP, and it doesn't matter what your background is. So I'm talking about most of the modules, function modules in SAP. So anybody can learn all these function modules, and doesn't matter what your background is. If you have sales, logistic, business process knowledge, that is preferred, but not mandatory to learn SAP SD. In this training, you will be learning everything from scratch. You will understand SAP from business point of view, not only configuration. So basically all the topics, all the configuration that we'll be learning. First, I will tell you when, where, what, in what business scenario it will be used, and then we'll talk about the real-time scenario and the configuration, then we'll learn. The only expectation from you is your desire and commitment to learn. About this training, this is an e-learning training. This is a complete SAP SD consultant level course. This is an associate level SD certification oriented course, and all the topics prescribed for SD exams are covered in this course. So basically we're covering everything that is required to pass the SAP SD certification exam. First 20% of the videos are all about learning the front end of SAP SD, that is the end user stuff we'll be learning first in the first 20% videos, and remaining 80% videos are all about learning customizing. The reason is, first you need to learn the end user stuff, because if I start teaching you the customizing from day one, you will not learn anything. So basically you need to learn how the system operates from the front end, and then we'll talk about the back end later on. Now let us understand what is e-learning course. In e-learning training, you will be given access to all the recorded lectures, assignments, study materials, server access, etc. after you enroll. Online lectures or server will be available to you 24/7 of the day, and you can start your training any time of the day as per your own time and pace. You are supposed to do assignments given at the end of each topic. So basically you need to watch a video, do assignment, watch a video, do assignment. That's what you need to do. And whenever you have a question or problem during the training, you need to post your question on the student forum that we have, and we'll be reply you there as soon as possible. So let me show you the student forum as well. So once you enroll, you will get access to all the forum and video access. So this is, you can see the steadiness.org website, and here you can see the forum. So whenever you have a question, you can, for example, it's under SD, you can open SD assignments and projects, and here you can post a question. You can see the existing question posted by other students. There's so many questions, and if you need to post a question, you can go to the new topic and you can enter the subject and the question here. And you can also see the question posted by the other students. So for example, you can see this one, this question, relationship between sales order, line item and delivery. So you can see this is a question and that is the answer. So not only you can see other students' question, but you can also reply to other student question, especially when you complete the course. Now you need to practice the the real-time problems, then you can come here and you can see other students' question, and if you know the answer, then you are most welcome to reply other students' problem. And for you as well, when you learn, you have any question, you can post a question here and we'll reply here as soon as possible. And also once you enroll, you will get access to the video all the SAP SD videos, and they will exactly work same like you run videos on YouTube. So for example, you can go to the My Course tab on the right hand side, and here if for example I show you the other modules, for example MM, if I click on the class recording MM, so you will get SD access, but this is just for knowledge. So here you can see all the SD videos, so you can see all the videos by topics and everything. So you can play the video same the way that you play on YouTube. For example, if I click on video number 12, say source of supply, you can click on it and it will start streaming in few seconds. You can also make it full screen like this. You can move this one to right, left, and you can fast forward the videos if you want. So that's how it works. Now SAP SD e-learning training package. So depending on what package you have enrolled for, we have different packages like combo packages and single courses. So depending on the package, you will have limited access to the services that we're providing. So you will have access to the SAP SD videos, server access, assignments, study materials you can download as a PDF form, but not the videos. This training will also is a complete project based training with real time scenario. What that means is will not give you any project to do, but we'll be covering every topic that we'll be covering. We'll discuss about the real time project scenario. You will also get access to the student forum to discuss your issues. We'll also help you once you complete the course with preparation of your resume and the interview help. Interview questions will be given. Certification question and answer will be provided, and also the interview questions and answers will be provided. Now, introduction to ERP. So before we start learning what is SAP or what is SAP SD, first we'll talk about ERP. What is ERP? So ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. Why ERP? So there are so many software available in the market. We'll talk in a minute, but let us discuss why we need ERP in today's business. So integration of business processes. So all the business processes, whether they are running in sales, whether the processes are in production, material management, finance, everything will be integrated. Standardization of system across locations. So if the company is in different location, different countries, doesn't matter where they are, you can have a standard process across different location. For overall control of the organization, you can have a better controlling of different business processes, better reporting system, because you have a consolidated system, so you can run the reports in a better way. Best utilization of the resource, for example, man, material, and machines. Now, ERP products in the market. There are a couple of ERP products in the market, and number one is SAP, which has the highest share in the market, and at the moment, more than 60% market share is owned by SAP in the ERP software. And there are some other small software, for example, Oracle, BAN, PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, Marshall, and some others. Now we'll discuss SAP. So before we start discussing about SD, we'll discuss what is SAP. What is SAP? SAP stands for System Applications and Products in Data Processing, and this is basically a German software. All over the world, we got about 10 million users, 32,000 customers, 1,000 partners, and 21 industry solutions. SAP is the third largest software company in the world as of today. The SAP R3 system is a business software package designed to integrate all areas of a business. Now you might have heard about SAP R3. So we'll discuss also what is R3. So R3 is nothing. R3 is an old name of SAP ERP system. So 3 here basically stands for 3-tier architecture. So what 3-tier architecture means? For example, we have a three layers of the system. For example, you can see that's a PC here. That's a PC. So we work on this PC. But whenever we want to get a data, we want to create a transaction, we need to run a report. So this is called presentation layer. On the top where we using on the PC, this is called presentation layer. So whenever you run a transaction or create a data, the system will talk to the application layer. And application layer will then get the data from the database layer. So that's how it works. That's why it's called 3-layer, because there are 3 different layers. 3-tier. So presentation layer, application layer, database layer. Now we don't need to worry about understanding about these layers because they are the technical side of it. But this is just an overview for you to have a basic understanding of the 3-tier architecture. Now some theory about this one. The SAP R3 system has a 3-tier client-server architecture. R stands for the real-time data processing and 3 stands for the 3-tier structure. SAP R3 is the old name given to the SAP ERP architecture. The new name is simply called SAP ERP, or you can also call it SAP ECC. SAP R3 architecture, so basically as I just said, that is an integration of all the different areas of the different business processes in the system. So basically we got just one server, and the one server will have all the different modules. For example, the SD module, sales and distribution, material management, production planning, quality management, project system, controlling, finance, everything will be here they all sharing the same database, same software. So that's why we have a consolidated software. Now let us discuss about the modules in SAP. There are basically 2 types of modules in SAP. One is functional module, other one is technical modules. Functional modules. The examples of functional modules are FI, CO controlling, HR human resources, then sales and distribution that we're learning here, material management, production planning, CRM, customer relationship management, and some others. These are the functional modules. And to learn most of these functional modules, you doesn't really need any background for most of the functional modules, and anyone can learn. Now there are some technical modules as well. For example, BICYS or NetWeaver, ABAP, BI or BW, SAP Enterprise Portal, HANA, and some others. And ideally they look for some technical background, for example IT background, to learn these modules. But as per my experience, anyone can learn, because I myself learn ABAP without any technical background or any IT knowledge or any programming knowledge. So that's how I know that anyone can learn. Next, we'll talk about the classical landscape of the system. So basically we have the three different system in the real-time SAP system. So one is the SAP development system, second one is the QoS or testing system, and the last one is the production or live system. So why we have 3 systems? Because we never change any setup or any customizing in the live system, because if there can be some issue and the whole system can stop working. So basically all the settings are done, all the customizings are done in the development system. So any customizing you need to do, any changes you need to do from the customizing point of view, you will be configuring it in the development system. So once you have done the changes in the development system, you make sure it's working, then you will send the changes to so we can transport the changes to the testing system, also known as QoS system. Here we will do the testing that okay, whatever changes we have done is working good, and we also get the business people business owner to make sure that test the changes here. Once they approve it, then the changes will be transported to the production system or the live system. So that's how the landscape work. So same thing here. So as I said, you have the development system, the data will be sent to the quality system, and finally the data will be sent to the production or live system. Now we'll discuss types of users in SAP. We have mainly three types of users in SAP. One is end users. Who are the end users? End users are the people who are working as an EU. They are the user of SAP. For example, most of us we use use Facebook or LinkedIn. So we are the end user of this social networking websites. But there is someone behind the Facebook who done the customizing and changes, and you can see your photo here, you can see your wall here, you can see some chatting list on the other side. So who are making those changes? They are the consultant behind it. So they are the consultant, we are the end user. Same thing goes for SAP. So SAP has end users, so who are using the system on the day-to-day business processes. For example, they're creating the sales order, they're creating the invoice, they're creating the purchase order, they're creating the production order. So they are the end users. Then there's a second one level is super user or power user. I will discuss in a minute. And the last one is SAP consultant. Now end users, they basically use just like a transactions or creating master data on their day-to-day basis. They have no idea about the customizing, or they're not consultant. But there are a category called super user, or also known as power user. So power user, they know better than end user but less than consultant. So super user, probably they can handle the first level of support. So for example, something easy, maybe end user saying they can't print a sales order, or they can't send an invoice via email, they can't fax an invoice via the system. So some minor stuff that can be handled by the super user, and they got some understanding of it, and they can handle the first level of the support call. But if there's something critical or something like second or third level, those types of issues will be escalated to the SAP consultant. So they will be handling all the issues of what's happening, or if they need to change customizing in the system. So three types of user, and this training will make you SAP consultant. Now we'll discuss the role of SAP SD consultant. So once you get a job, what you are expected to do, what will be your day-to-day routine, let us discuss. Role of SAP SD consultant. There are two types of jobs as a SAP consultant, whether you're working in SD module or any different modules. One is called support consultant. Other one is called SAP SD consultant in the implementation. So we'll discuss both. SAP SD support consultant. Now, support consultant are working in a company who is using SAP, and they need someone to look after the system or the issues arising on their day-to-day basis. For example, if you think about any major companies, for example, you think about Coca-Cola company or the Toyota car company, or think about any big company, most of them, they are using SAP, and they have thousands of users in the company who are using as an end user. They're using the system on their day-to-day basis. Now these thousands of people who are using the system every day they have some sort of issue, and they need someone to solve the problem. That's where the support consultant is required. You can also call support consultant as a help desk. Like every company has a IT help desk, so you can call it help desk as well, same thing. So with these companies, they hire a support consultant, and support consultant will be looking after all the issues from the end users. So if you're working as a help desk or support consultant, these can be your day-to-day routine. So for example, attending the issues with the SD end users, gathering requirements from the users, mapping requirements into SAP and changing SAP configuration if required, coordinating with developer for enhancement. For example, developer is your ABAP consultant. If we need to enhance the system and we need a custom report, then as SD consultant you will be the bridge between the end user and the technical guy. Helping end users with the user acceptance testing. Whenever there is a testing required, will be helping the end users. Delivering SAP training to the end users, creating training documents, etc. So these are the common roles of a SAP SD support consultants. Now the second types of job is you can work as SAP SD consultant in the implementation. Now implementation, basically you can get a job with all the big IT companies, for example like IBM, Accenture, CSC, all these companies. So they hire SAP SD consultants and they send their team to the other businesses for the implementation. For example, if there's XYZ company or there's a Pepsi company who wants to implement SAP, so you will be going, you will be representing IBM, or if you're working with IBM, you will be representing IBM and will go to the Pepsi company with the SAP team, with the group, and to do the implementation. So you will have in your team, you can have like other consultant like MM consultant, FI consultant, ABAP consultant, BISYS consultant, and all that. If it's a big project, there can be more than one SD consultant depending on how big the project is, or there can be one SAP SD consultant only. So with this type of the job, so you will go to the project with the Pepsi company and you will do the implementation. Once the implementation is done, then your project will finish and you will be given a second project and you will go to the next company. So that's how it works. So the responsibilities in these types of jobs can be, for example, organizing workshop and gathering customers' requirements, scoping, gap analysis, preparing blueprints. So we'll talk about the scoping, gap analysis, blueprint later on. Then customizing and delivering the solution. So once you have the requirement from the business or from the Pepsi company, you will be doing the customizing accordingly into the system, and finally you will be delivering the right solution to the business. Coordinating with the technical team for enhancement, like we discussed before, testing the changes, documenting the process, and writing training documents, training the end users with the business, and some others. So these are the common job responsibility of a SAP SD consultant. Now also, like we have a lot of students, they enroll for the preparation towards their certification exam. So if you are preparing for the SAP SD certification exam, then this is my recommendation how you should be learning, how should be approaching this training. Now before we learn that, I will discuss about the eligibility for certification exam. Now in most of the Asian countries, you will need to enroll to the SAP Authorized Center to become eligible for the SAP exam as a fresher. So if you are a fresher in SAP and you want to appear for the exam in certification, then you need to get the training from the SAP Authorized Center. So you can't have any training from a private trainer like me and appear for the exam. However, no such rule exists in the Western countries like Europe, US, UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. And if you are from these countries or any countries close by, then you can appear for the certification exam with no issue. And doesn't matter if you have a formal training and if you have done the self-learning, whatever, you can appear for the exam. You can book the exam online and you can appear for the exam. If you are outside of these countries and you're not sure, best thing is to call the local SAP education office. So you can Google the number for the SAP education office in your city, wherever you're living, call them and ask whether if you want to appear for the exam, is there any requirement, can you appear, and they will tell you. And how to book the exam. If you are from these countries, you can book the exam online, and I will create a video later on about how to book the exam, and then you can see how you can do the booking as well. Now preparing towards the certification exam, I would advise for the below strategy, but please feel free to change as per your own experience, because this is my advice only. Now my advice is, when you start the training, first of all, watch each video in order and keep doing the assignments for every topic. So for every topic, I'll be giving some assignments. You are supposed to do the assignments, and then complete all the videos starting from number 1 up to the last one. Then the revision time before you go for the certification exam. Now during the revision, watch all videos again, but this time only go through the practicals on server where you do not feel confident. So you do not need to do all the assignments again, only do those assignments again where you are not confident. Then revise again, and this time only watch those videos, no practicals, only those videos you need to watch where you do not feel confident. Finally, now go through the certification questions and see how well you can answer. You will feel yourself whether you are confident for appearing in exam certification, in SAP certification exam or not. So you will get the confidence, inner confidence yourself. So you will know whether you're ready or not. Please keep doing revision unless you feel confident. Remember, the only key to learn SAP and pass certification is the practice, practice and practice. So basically, if you do not feel confident, then you need to revise again. And the only way to learn SAP or to pass certification is practice, practice and practice. Now we'll discuss about some introduction about SAP SD, and then from the next video and onwards we'll go into details the topic. So this is just an introduction here. So SAP SD, as you know, stands for sales and distribution. That means starting from the sales process, like starting from creating a sales order and then delivering the product and then shipping the goods to the customer, and finally we will be billing the customer. So in general term, sales and distribution module is a part of SAP logistic module that manages customer relationships starting from raising a quotation to sales order and billing of the product and service. SD helps to manage the shipping, billing, selling and transportation of products and services of a company. It is one of the important modules in SAP ERP software. The SD module consists of all master data, system configuration and transaction to complete the sales and logistics processes. This module is closely integrated with other modules like MM, FICO, WM and PP. So we'll talk about the integration in detail later on. So here you can see just an overview of the integration. For example, here you can see this is your SD module. This is connected with this is interfaced with other modules like quality management and your PM module, plant maintenance, material management modules, FI modules and all that, PP modules. So we'll talk about the integration in details later on. Now order to cash cycle. So basically in SD is also known as OTC module. For example, the OTC means you can see some jobs saying OTC consultant in SAP. OTC consultant. So OTC stands for order to cash. So in the order to cash cycle, basically in general term, what happens is, first of all, you have the customer in the business. So customer will be placing an order. So the company will receive a sales order, and from the sales order we need to deliver some goods or maybe some services as well. So just set goods to the customer, and the requirements will be sent to the material management department or the MM module. And if we need to purchase the product from the outside, we are trading the goods, then we'll send the requirement to the vendor. Or if we are doing the in-house manufacturing, then the requirements will be sent to the PP, production planning, or the PP module. Finally, when we have the goods ready, we'll deliver the goods to the customer and we'll finally the finance department will be invoicing the customer. So that's the cycle from the overall business perspective. Now let us discuss the same thing, order to cash, from SAP SD only. So from SAP SD side only, First of all, what will happen? Your customer will place a sales order, will receive the sales order, and then second point will be, the goods will be ready for the pickup and the goods will be picked up for the delivery to the customer. Third, goods will be issued to the customer. So goods will be sent via the truck or the train or via air to the customer, and then we'll send an invoice to the customer. Then the billing will happen, and the fifth step will be the account receivable department will chase up with the customer for the payment, and finally the customer will make the payment. So this is the order to cash cycle. Now this looks very small, but when we learn, we'll get deep inside, you will find it each and every step has an ocean. It's so big. If you think about picking, if you think about goods issue, if you think about billing, every topic can go into depth, and we'll be going to depth later on. Now we'll discuss about the types of data in SAP. Now in SAP we have basically the three types of data. First one is a master data, then you have the transactional data, and the customizing data. So whether you talk about SAP SD module, whether you talk about SAP MM module, PP module, they all have three types of data: master data, transactional data, and customizing data. So master data, for example, customer, material, pricing, these are the master data in SD. For example, in MM you have master data. For example, so in SD we create customers, we create material, we create the pricing for the customer. But in MM, the master data can be vendor. We create a vendor, we create some pricing for the vendor. Material is common between in SD and MM, like that. And also like PP, in PP module we have BOM, bill of material, we have a routing and all that. So this is the SD master data. Then we have the transactional data. So transactional data means when we're creating a transaction. So in SD we create like sales orders. In PP module we create production orders. In MM we create the purchase order. So these are the transactional data. And the third one is the customizing data. So we'll change this customizing according to the business requirement. That is your customizing data. So we'll discuss about customizing later on. So that's all about it, and thank you very much to watch this video. We'll continue with the next video from the video number 2 onwards. Thank you very much.